Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk. Today is Friday, September 12th, 2025. And here on episode 97, we are fired up to talk about football. Here talking about week one, a few things that happened, and then we're previewing week two. And, yeah.
Yeah, we actually got to watch real football for the first time in I don't know how many days. Hundreds, I bet.
Hundreds of days.
Carson's the math guy.
Probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Probably about 800.
Oh, good.
Yeah, meaningful football. Crazy week. All right, we'll start off with the negatives as we do. Let's start off with some injuries that have occurred. The 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is expected to miss 2 to 5 weeks with a turf toe variant.
Yeah, I feel like it's not very good whenever you say variant, like it's a breed.
I didn't know there was turf toe variant.
Right? Yeah, it's like COVID. It's like it's morphed.
Yeah, COVID toe.
Yeah, COVID toe. Sucks, though, for Brock.
Yeah. And also, more bad news for the 49ers. They placed tight end George Kittle on IR with a hamstring injury.
I think the team's cursed.
Yeah. Are you just now thinking that? Or?
No, I've been thinking
Okay, yeah.
considering the 8 running backs that were hurt at the beginning of the year. So.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be not a huge downgrade to Mac Jones, first of all. And second of all, the tight end room is just going to be a committee now. There's going to
yeah.
kind of like it was with Ross Dwelly and whoever
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Oh.
Charlie Warner.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a couple of guys. I think, what's his name? Little in there.
And Tonjes.
Yeah. Yeah. Tongues. Yeah.
Tongues.
Yeah.
Dick Tongues.
Dick Tongues. The Commanders running back Austin Eckler is believed to have suffered a torn Achilles in Thursday's game against the Packers and will undergo an MRI to confirm.
It's Bill time.
Bring on the bill.
They gave him, what, 5 carries?
4.
4 carries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty pissed, but
Yeah.
It wasn't running game script, though. It's
Right.
not like they gave Eckler really any
No.
either.
they weren't running at all.
I think they're just going to use Bill more, and then Jeremy McNichols is going to take the receiving role, and they're going to bring Chris Rodriguez up again, or
I think
something.
The truth is that you probably just want to, for fantasy purposes, if you can, stay away from the backfield.
Yeah.
But if you want to take a shot with some upside, go for Bill. I was never
Bill.
high on Bill coming
None
out.
of us really were.
No.
But
Yeah. But he's
we've
first in
hopped
depth.
on the hype train. It's a train.
I like that he's named
Yeah.
Bill. That's pretty cool.
It's a cool name, yeah. Big, beautiful Bill.
Yep.
The Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a broken collarbone Thursday against the Commanders. His hopeful timeline to return is 6 to 8 weeks.
It's fine. They
Yeah.
have depth, really. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's been suffering. He's been fighting with a foot injury or something all offseason. This isn't really going to affect a whole lot. They have depth to spare.
They started to use Savion Williams more last
Yes,
night whenever
they
he went
did.
out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Pretty exciting, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like how he has the concussion cap on. It makes his
yeah.
head look humongous.
Yeah, it was a bunch of the Packers did.
Yeah,
He looks
Dobbs.
a lot smaller out there than he did in college.
Well, it's NFL.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, they're going to, I think, start using Savion Williams more.
That injury sucks.
Yeah.
Others that are out for week 2 coming up here. The Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy, he's doubtful right now, most likely out. Dolphins tight end Darren Waller. Oh man, must be making raps this weekend or something.
He's still not physically in shape yet.
Yeah, he just needs to get more rapping going
Yeah.
on. That'll help. The Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely, Vikings left tackle Christian Darrisaw, Giants left tackle Andrew Thomas, Titans right tackle J.C. Latham, Vikings edge Andrew Van Ginkel.
Damn.
Yeah, Van Ginky,
That one
dude.
hurts.
Yeah, that one is bad. To go along with Christian Darrisaw for the Vikings, that's not great. The Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver, Titans defensive tackle Trevondre Sweat. That's your guy.
I don't know how you can hurt a mountain, but I guess somebody must have.
Someone was digging.
TNT, I guess. Miners.
Yeah.
Miners. They went low.
The Broncos linebacker Dre Greenlaw, also your guy.
He's still out. Yeah, he just hasn't come back from his injuries from last year yet.
Doesn't surprise me. The Patriots corner Christian Gonzalez, the Cowboys corner Deron Bland, Steelers corner Joey Porter Jr., Bears corner Kyler Gordon, Colts corner Charvarius Ward, and Steelers safety Deshaun Elliott. Lots of sucky ones.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott avoided a tear. I think it was just more of a minor injury. They thought it was a tear
Luckily.
originally.
Yeah.
And then Joey Porter, I don't know what happened to him, but Deron Bland did just get a big contract. Now he's injured.
Yeah.
That's really all I'd
how
say
they
about
do
That's
it.
that.
Cowboys. That's how they do it in Dallas.
Yeah. And then Ed Oliver also just had a huge game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
And now he's out. So
Yeah, that sucks.
Yep.
And we have yet to see Christian Gonzalez play
Yeah.
this season yet.
Mhm.
He's kind of been plagued with injuries throughout his short career so far, but whenever he's out there, he's so good.
So
They
good.
need him. They need him.
They need him bad. A trade here. The Eagles acquired running back Tank Bigsby from the Jaguars in exchange for a 5th and 6th round pick in 2026.
They originally said that this had nothing to do with the Will Shipley injury. Then later that day or the next day, they said he might go on IR. So clearly it did have something to do with Will Shipley because I think Tank's going to get some run now to spell Saquon. But they said they wanted Tank because of his return abilities. Now, a 5th and a 6th round pick seems very expensive for their excitement about his return man abilities. So I think this is, like I said, to spell Saquon and maybe even take over the Will Shipley role if Will Shipley continues to be a return man or vice versa, because Will Shipley broke his ribs on a return. So one of the two running backs is going to be a return man, maybe both. But, yeah, I think this is just, like I said, get some wear and tear off of Saquon and give him some breaks, because I could tell last game everyone could see that they had him on the sideline more often than they usually did with A.J. Dillon or Will Shipley in there, because maybe they're trying to actually preserve him a little bit this year and play the long game. So
probably very smart.
Yeah. But one thing on the returns, though, is like I'm loving seeing all these returns.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
so many returns with that rule change this year.
Good job by the NFL.
Yeah, great job. So
they don't always do a good job.
Yeah. But this one,
they got right. Yeah.
Yes, that one's right. But there might be some. That's probably just piece of the puzzle. That's how Howie does it.
It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that it makes scoring easier though, because now they either start like 10 yards closer than they used to, or they get a return to go further. So what I would like to see personally, is they move the guys, the offense and the defense have a lot like 10 yards away from each other. They move them closer, like 10 yards closer or whatever to the return man, and then if it goes in the end zone, it's like they go to 25 or 30 or something, so it's still a punishment. So basically just try to force it back as much as you can, because NFL offenses are already good enough nowadays that they don't need any more help starting to the 35 when they used to start at the 25. So
yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the league meetings next year whenever we get an invite.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll hammer that out.
But not to knock it, they are doing
much better.
Yes, great job.
Rather than seeing 11 freaking just bring it out to the 30 and run it. All right, there's some signings that we got. The safety Jabril Peppers signed with the Steelers on a 1-year deal worth $1.25 million. This is just a vet homecoming for the Steelers this year.
I love what Omar Khan is cooking, dude. If you guys watch Jalen Ramsey, not at all what Jabril Peppers is. Very differently built guys. Jabril Peppers is not a corner, but Jalen Ramsey was awesome.
He's a menace.
And they play him in the slot. They play him in the box. They play him back at free safety. They play him everywhere, and he was awesome everywhere. And now they're bringing in another guy who's just so versatile. Yeah, he's not the coverage player that Jalen Ramsey is, but Jabril Peppers can just step in, and the linebackers haven't been the best. Step in and just be a tackling machine, or put him back as safety. Like, just put him anywhere. And I love that they're doing this because, it's mainly because Deshaun Elliott is out and going to miss some time. But I just love that they're bringing in versatility to make this defense exciting and tough to predict.
Mm-hmm. When I was a young lad, I didn't know a whole lot, but for some reason I loved Jabril Peppers, and I think it was because he played safety, linebacker. At Michigan, he was an electric return man.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see him come to the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully they can use him, like you said, just all around the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, that backfield is insane. The line will...
defensive backfield,
we'll forget the line for this week because they forgot to be there. Okay, the wide receiver Kendrick Bourne signed with the 49ers on a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million.
Yeah, because they
have no one on their team.
Yeah.
Right tackle Colton McKivitz and the 49ers have agreed to terms on a 3-year, $45 million extension that includes $27 million guaranteed.
Pretty cheap for the right tackle who's been just fine, and I like the continuity, so good job.
Yeah. Wide receiver Christian Watson is signing a 1-year, $13.25 million extension with $6 million guaranteed with the Packers through the 2026 season.
Yeah, this was more just like to be nice to him is what I was reading, because he keeps getting injured and this is a contract year for him. So instead of him worrying about rushing back and probably getting hurt again this season to try to prove what he's worth, they just gave him another year. Like, hey, just get healthy this year. We'll see what you have next year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And the 49ers signed kicker Eddie Pinheiro to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, because
they don't have one because they cut the kicker Jake Moody. 49ers cut him.
Yeah, which he's been bad.
He's missed some.
Yeah, and he was a 3rd-round pick, so.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, people that draft kickers high, I feel like it's inevitable that the kicker does not work out.
Yeah.
Who's that black kicker or punter that got taken super high a while ago?
Roberto Aguayo by the
Bucks.
And it was like second round.
Yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, and he was one of the worst.
Yeah. Another cut here. The Jets have released wide receiver / kick returner Xavier Gipson, and he was claimed by the Giants off the waivers.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Aaron Glenn said in a press conference they cut him because he fumbled a kick return. He said,
was hard.
We will not have people on this team that turn the ball over in critical moments or lose us games or whatever. So in the comments, we're just ripping him apart saying, okay, Justin Fields throws one pick, cut the guy. But anyways, I think he's a good return man, and I see why the Giants claimed him.
Yeah, and hell of a play by Kenny Gainwell. Punched it right out. Ben Skoranek got in there. A great play for the Steelers. But yeah, I think he just kind of bringing in the Lions mindset that Aaron Glenn is doing what he's trying to do. I think he made an example out of him. And he's like, hey, we're going to be a hard-nosed football team, and you made the first biggest mistake that lost us the game, so you're done. Pretty extreme, but that's the Lions' way.
I guess.
And for only a kick returner, I mean, he's kind of replaceable.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're going to return the kicks now. I'm interested to see that, but maybe Isaiah Davis. I don't know.
Yeah, probably Davis.
Isaiah Davis.
Probably not going to be Braylon Allen. That's for sure.
Yeah,
probably
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah. All right, let's get into our Week 2 preview. So we're obviously keeping record of all our game picks and our locks of the week, as we did last week. So Carson came out on top this week. He was 8-8, and he was 1-0 with his lock of the week. Well done.
That's right. It's a new season, new me. I'm ready to go this year.
Yep. I went 7-9 and missed my lock of the week. That hurts. And Key went 6-10 and missed his lock of the week.
Yep.
That's betting, baby.
That is betting, yeah. Rough week. Stupid Dolphins.
Yeah.
Stupid me. Sorry.
Yeah. Stupid you. Don't blame on the Dolphins. Yeah. We warned you.
Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, with our records there, let's get right into our game picks. And going over our games. First game we got, the Browns are going to the Ravens. Ravens are favored 11.5 points. Yeah.
Who's hot? Who's running hot?
Well, I forgot that I go first. So we're going to go with, like last week, I choose one player whose motor is running hot. And I got to go with none other than a twofer to start this out here. One from each team. One has to be a Harold Fannin Jr., that rookie tight end who was kind of, I won't say looked over, but like there were other tight ends that were favored above him, and he comes out and ties the amount of receptions by tight end.
Rookie tight end.
Debut. Yeah, their tight end debut. So, yeah, he just went out and balled out, and, yeah, he's an absolute stud. And then the other guy I had to choose, even though they lost last week, was Derrick Henry, the king, that big running back guy who's pretty darn good. I had to choose him because he's got to be running hot because he's coming off that big late-game comeback loss. And
so fun. What a way to word it.
Yeah. He's got to be pissed off and just because he ran for 190 whatever yards.
And 167 maybe. Something like that.
It was a lot.
Almost 10 yards of carry.
Yeah, and then still lost. And then also I just had to throw him in there because I have a feeling that he's probably also running hot because of a guy by the name of Grant Delpit from the Browns, and he's probably going to stiff arm him into the earth's crust because he's easy to tackle.
Easy to tackle. Yeah. From last week, Browns edge rusher Isaiah McGuire. I just wanted to a little shout out to myself because I don't always get these things right, but I got to highlight whatever I do. 88.2 overall defensive grade, 5 pressures, 1 sack from Isaiah McGuire, the Browns edge rusher. So he looked real good across from Myles Garrett. This week, we're going to highlight another Brown. Former Steeler linebacker Devin Bush. I know maybe this isn't exactly. So maybe this isn't like a sleeper because he's a former first-round pick back in 2019. But if you are a Steelers fan, like these guys are, who has watched Devin Bush from the beginning of his NFL career, you know that Bush has really struggled.
We try to forget about it.
Yeah, try to forget about it. They declined his 5th-year option and let him walk before the 2023 season. He signed with Seattle for 2023. He wasn't a full-time starter, played just 251 defensive snaps. It looked like his NFL career as a starting linebacker was done. And then he signed with Cleveland in 2024. He played 16 games, started 10 of them, put up a career best season with a 79.2 overall defensive grade. His previous best was 62.9 in his rookie season in 2019. He had an 86.4 run defense grade, 80.6 tackling grade, 77.5 pass rush grade, 76 total tackles, 45 of those solo, and 8 tackles for loss. And he kept going this year too. He signed another 1-year deal with Cleveland in 2025 with a $2 million raise. I feel like he earned it. In the first game there, 7 total tackles, 4 of them solo, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection in week 1 with an 87.5 overall defensive grade. So Devin Bush is playing well in Cleveland, where a lot of people do not play well. So shout out to Devin Bush. He couldn't do it in Pittsburgh, but he got it in the mistake by the lake.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm doubling down on Cody's play running hot. That's Harold Fannin Jr. The prop lock for this game is Harold Fannin Jr. 5+ receptions. You can get that at plus 142. Week
plus
1,
money, baby.
He played 72% of snaps, 42% of which he was in the slot, which led the team's starters. He was also lined up 47% of the time in line and saw some snaps out of the backfield as well. This is a guy we all loved as a receiving threat, but not as a true tight end. So I love that for once an NFL team actually drafts a guy and they know how to properly utilize him and they execute. As a rookie in his first game in the league, he received 9 targets for 7 receptions, and this is a great sign that he's being schemed in this early into the season, showing the same signs that Puka did early in his rookie year. Now, this offense showed last week it can support Njoku and Harold Fannin at least with Joe Flacco in there.
Oh, yeah.
And against this tough Ravens defense, I think they're going to try to get the ball into Fannin's hands as much as possible again. So give me 5+ receptions for plus money.
Love it. Rams are going to the Titans.
Wait, we got to do game picks.
Oh, sugar, we didn't even say we picked.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns, and that is my lock of the week. The Browns and Ravens. The Browns usually stay in the game tight. Sometimes they even beat them, and I think they could upset the Ravens here.
Whoa.
Totally crazy.
You're crazy.
Last year, they split the series 1-1. The Browns beat them once, as bad as they were. The year before, it was also 1-1. The Browns have won. The Browns and Ravens have went 2-2 over the last 2 years. And I think this can be the game that the Browns beat the Ravens. They come off a hot game against the Bengals. The Ravens are feeling a little too confident in themselves, and I think this AFC North game stays way closer than 11.5 points. 3 points. I'm saying 3 points is how much they lose by.
Okay. I'm on board with that last part you said about the AFC North games. They stay close. That's why I took the Browns, too. I mean, this 11.5 points could very easily be done because we know how the Ravens are. We know how the Browns are. But with Joe Flacco slinging the pill, I think they're going to keep it within that 11.5 points for sure.
With how well Joe Flacco played last week, he had 2 interceptions, sure. That's just part of the experience. But he kept the game close. Browns should have won that game.
Those interceptions were tipped. They were both tipped. They both went off his receiver's hands.
There you go. Good memory. Thank you. Yes. So wasn't even Joe Flacco's fault. I will continue to defer the blame on Joe Flacco as long as I can.
Yes.
So Joe Flacco, you're not going to beat him by 12. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're Lamar Jackson. I don't care if you're like 20 years younger than him. You're not going to beat him by 12. I agree with you. Browns are going to keep it close. Their defense is stingy enough to at least maybe slow him down and give Joe Flacco the runway to stay right beside him.
Yeah, give him something.
Yeah.
All right, now we move on to the Rams going to the Titans. Rams are favored 5.5 points. And one guy who I think is running hot coming into this week is Rams, Nate Landman. He's coming off his huge Rams debut last week. He had 10 tackles and that big forced fumble to eventually secure the Rams the win towards the end of the game there. So, yeah, shout out to him. And I'm sure he's going to keep that whole pretty impressive Rams defense rolling into week 2.
Yeah, Green Dot. That was a shout-out of mine last week, the Green Dot of that defense. Let's go to the other side and talk about their linebackers. Cedric Gray on the Titans. So it wasn't James Williams Sr. who got the start at linebacker beside Cody Barton. Kind of bummed about that. But Cedric Gray actually really impressed me in his first start. He was a 2024 4th-round pick out of North Carolina. He played just 48 defensive snaps in his rookie season. I wasn't the biggest fan of him as a prospect coming into the draft, but my biggest positive remark about him was his football IQ, his understanding of where he needs to go on the field to keep the ball carrier within striking distance. He had a good understanding of pursuit angles to counteract his lack of great speed. He only ran a 4.6 440. But his football IQ and ability to make the right pursuit angles really showed on his biggest play of the day. I remember it I remember watching it live, and I was like really impressed. I don't even know if I said anything about it, but I was like, oh, damn, because it was a 50-yard run by R.J. Harvey that would have went for an 80-yard touchdown if it weren't for Gray. It was an inside run that Harvey broke out to the left sideline once he got through the D-line. Gray was initially blocked at the second level by Adam Troutman, but he broke off and immediately started chasing Harvey upfield, having to swerve around other players downfield along his pursuit. Gray made this rundown look so easy considering Harvey has 4.40 40-yard dash speed. And Cedric Gray finished the day with 8 total tackles, 5 solo, 0 missed tackles, and PFF grades of 77.0 overall defensive, 82.2 run defense, and 81.1 tackling grade. That play really impressed me. I was like, who was that Gray guy? I thought it was a safety, but he ran down Harvey so easy.
He did. I thought it was a safety as well, or a corner or something.
Yeah, linebacker.
So, last week I bet on Calvin Ridley, and I'm going to double down. Did you keep track of my...
Yes, I have the record on the... Yeah, I can go get you the record if you want it while you're talking.
Yeah, I was just curious because this is one of the ones I did lose on. But I'm doubling down now. Calvin Ridley over 4.5 receptions at -110. Last game, he had 4 receptions, with Cam Ward only completing 12 passes for 112 yards. But he did just barely miss this line, as he had some borderline drops at the end of the game where he and Cam Ward just could barely not sync up. And this matchup is way easier than last week. Yes, the Rams D is good, but it's no Denver defense with a Pat Surtain. So I'm going to double down on Calvin Ridley from last week, feeling even better this time around. Calvin Ridley over 4.5 receptions.
Yeah, another weekend for Cam Ward. I mean, it makes sense.
You went 7-9 on your bets. You were just about. You would have hit.
Kicked you on that one.
Yeah, you were close, but because you made that last one, the Monday night one, a parlay where you parlayed Justin Jefferson under, which did hit, and DJ Moore under, which did not hit.
DJ Moore did hit until they did the lateral. I lost that bet on the lateral because they lateraled it to DJ Moore, who then ran 13 yards, which counted as receiving yards, and I lost on the very last play of the game, which I was peeved.
Yeah, you would have broke even, though. You would have broke even.
Anywho, leading into my game pick, I'm going Titans alone here. Cam Ward's at home. He only lost to the Broncos by 8 away. And at the end of the game, they were so close to making a comeback. If Calvin Ridley could catch and Cam Ward could be just a little more accurate, this Titans defense looked actually pretty dang good against the Broncos. Slowed them down just enough, so I imagine they can do more of the same against the Rams. Get the offense rolling maybe just a little bit this time around. And, I think they can keep it within 5 points.
I think Titans may have got a little bit of beginner's luck there, maybe a little bit, and I think the Rams will have enough defense mainly, but I think Matt Stafford being out there, Puka Nacua, all them guys, I think that Rams will win by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm going to bet on the side that has 2 guys or 2 edge rushers who might just be like, this is exaggeration, but like all pro. Byron, not all pro, but they'll be Pro Bowl
Jeffrey
this year.
Simmons on the other side.
Okay, sure, Jeffrey Simmons. But what I'm saying is that Stafford he'll take hits in his old age. He knows how to get hit, get hurt, and keep playing. Yeah. Cam Ward's gonna be scared whenever he sees Jared Verse and Byron Young coming off the edge. Those guys looked great in Week 1. And I think they're going to rattle him in this week, and I think that's a big thing for a young rookie quarterback in his first start to be rattled by just an amazing defensive line.
And a fairly new head coach versus a veteran head coach.
Yeah, McVay.
A genius in Sean McVay at that. So I think that.
Give me the Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams. Next game, Bears are going to the Lions in an NFC North matchup here. The Lions are favored 6.5 points. So this Bears and Lions, who's running hot here? Rough games for these teams in Week 1. So I don't know if anyone's really running hot this week. Cold motor. I mean, I don't know.
Piles of sadness is what I put in the doc.
Yeah, it is just piles of sadness, man. The only person that might be running hot is Dan Campbell, but that's just because he always is.
Yeah, running hot because he's mad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like running hot in a good way, like burning right, I don't know. No one's really burning right here. Caleb Williams was impressing me last week. It's like, he's burning right, and then just gets stomped on.
Yeah.
It was a rough Week 1 for these two teams.
Yeah, it really was. This week, sleeper to watch. Let's look to see more of Lions wide receiver Isaac TeSlaa. I figure we finally need to talk about this guy.
We do.
Let me say from the jump that TeSlaa is going to have to improve a lot to become an NFL star, he was not a good prospect by any means. There were guys that were higher on him than me and Carson and you were as well, but that is because he's an athlete. He's a crazy athlete. He was my wide receiver 40 out of 41 wide receivers that we watched, scouted and ranked. Antoine Wells. Juice Wells.
Yes.
Juice Wells. You had to slaw 41 out of 41.
I did, yes.
His routes, not crisp at all. He's slow to change directions. Never had more than 532 receiving yards in his 2 seasons at Arkansas. But the pros, which is why the Lions drafted him in the 3rd round, to everybody's surprise, large catch radius, 6'4", 214, 31 and an 1/8-inch arms, and an absolutely elite athlete, 4'4", 340, 1.51 10-yard split, 39.5 vert, 10'9" broad, 17 bench press reps.
That's a white boy
that
there.
Sounds like and that sounds like going back, that sounds like a DK Metcalf.
Yeah, it does. And
the build.
The hype around Tesla right now, that's why it is insane. It's unmatched. That one-handed touchdown catch in garbage time in week 1 versus the Packers was as advertised, I would say, for Tesla. The way I see it is that if Tesla is going to work in the NFL, he's going to need manufactured touches for him. Get the ball in his hands in space or throw him up some 50-50 balls. Just let him try to out-athlete defenders because right now, he's not a good route runner, and people are getting excited. And I feel like I don't want to see people get their hopes up because the Tesla that I saw, that I saw is not the guy. He's not another like Amon-Ra route runner or something.
Right?
Like
not really a possession receiver.
Yes, I need to see a lot more from Tesla.
Tesla is more like coleslaw than Amon-Ra.
Yes, well done.
Well said.
We'll finish this up. A quote by Dan Campbell. He came out and said that they're going to use him more. He said, "Certainly we'd like to use him more. There's something there." Looks like he's back and feels pretty good. He was sick a couple weeks ago and had to miss practice. That's what he's talking about. It was good to see him make a play. He was only in for 3 plays on offense, but did a good job on those 3. Made that big catch, so we're going to start trying to get him more reps. So Tesla might be the missing piece to make this Lions offense creative and get it moving again. Maybe he's a missing piece who can help the Lions outsmart their former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and the Bears this week. Because I think this is got to be my favorite game to watch this week. Because I think it's going to be like, obviously Ben Johnson is going to bring the brains, but I think that Dan Campbell is going to be trying to draw up cool shit to be like, aha, we can do this stuff without you, Ben. I'm really excited for this game.
Okay, man, you're just going over here, man. You're over here. Remember how we did it last year, man?
Drawing it up on a whiteboard like a high school basketball coach. Yeah, but I'm excited for this game, like really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Prop lock for this game, I'm going with Jared Goff under 249.5 yards. I don't think Tesla can get him over this line. It's way too early for a victory lap. But last week kind of confirmed my belief that this offense was all Ben Johnson, and I think that continues this week. I think they'll be able to rely on the run game more this game than last, which isn't saying a whole lot, hopefully, because Jared Goff and this offensive line did not look good. So hopefully they can just rely on the run. The pass game doesn't have to do a whole lot. Jared Goff stays under 250 yards.
Makes sense.
Game picks.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears here, as we all are. I've been riding the boat for way too long. I've been preaching way too loud. I don't love the Lions this year. Coordinators are gone, all that, blah, blah, blah. And then last week they didn't look good either. On the other hand, the Bears in the first half looked excellent until Brian Flores finally cooked something up to kind of put a hamper in their plans. So I'm going to go with the Bears here. I think they can stay within 6 points of the Lions. Ben Johnson, homecoming. I don't understand why this line's so large.
Yeah, it is very confusing after watching last week. And I mean, I've been a huge fan of the Lions too, but last week did scare me a little bit, and I was overly impressed with the Bears, at least how they looked. Like, the Bears haven't looked like that in that first half for a while. Like, it was very impressive, so I had to go with the Bears here too. I think they can keep it closer than 6.5.
Yeah, Bears are my lock of the week this week. I don't know if I really believe that they're going to win this game. I think the Lions probably squeak it out just because they're home, and I think that matters. And the Lions fans are ruthless. I know that they're going to be booing Ben Johnson whenever.
Oh, yeah.
And you can say whatever you want about that. I love that. I think that's funny. You're not on our team anymore. Yeah. Why would I cheer for you?
Exactly.
Thank you for what you've done. You're playing against us right now. I'm going to boo you.
Yeah.
But I think that, like I said, this is going to be a great game, and it's going to be each team is going to be trying to show their strength. And it's going to be the OG who began this thing, the Dan Campbell, or it's going to be the guy who the mega mind who is leaving Dan Campbell, the prodigy. And I just think I'm so excited for it. It's game of the week, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because we don't do game reviews, I just have to say this real quick. Caleb Williams, sorry. In the first 3 or 4 drives, he looked like a completely different quarterback.
Yes, completely different.
Now, he wasn't hitting the open receivers. He wasn't throwing the ball downfield to his open receivers that he should have been. But I actually love that because Caleb Williams used to throw the ball downfield to guys that weren't open. Yeah. So for him to finally take a step forward, maturing, Ben Johnson must have really learned him something here. Just take the easy check down. Don't force the ball. I love that he wasn't throwing deep. He was just letting the defense come to him. The game was slowing down for him, it looked like. And then after that, it looked like he started to get a little more concerned, get a little more worried, and that's when he started forcing the ball downfield. But yeah, those first 3 or 4 drives, he looked like an NFL veteran quarterback, nothing like his former self.
He used to simply throw too much for what his skill set is. Like, it already looked like in that first half, at least, like he was running confidently, like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he was the best running back on the team that game.
Yeah.
By far. And we haven't really seen that Caleb Williams probably yet, really, in his NFL career, at least with that type of confidence, at least for the first half.
That's what happens whenever you get a good BJ. Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Yeah, everyone loves a good BJ.
Everybody knows a good BJ.
Yeah. All right, next game. We got the Bills going to the Jets. The Bills are favored 6.5 points here. And who's running hot? Well, maybe that guy that threw for about 400 yards, ran for 2, passed for 2. Josh Allen. I mean, duh. But also another guy that we have to include in this is Justin Fields. Came out, and honestly, he's another guy that balled out week 1, nearly beating the Steelers. And just looked really, really good. And I can't see how Jets fans wouldn't be pumped seeing him play like that.
Yeah, especially with all the bad vibes. It was like Justin Fields can't hit a pass in camp, but it looked very good to everybody's surprise. Well, we all know that this game is looking like it's going to be an uphill battle for the Jets. So if the Jets are going to be able to do anything offensively to keep up with the Bills, they're going to need their rookie tight end Mason Taylor. He's a sleeper to watch this week. Jets defense was actually able to rush the passer with Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald versus the Steelers. Sauce Gardner looked great. He had a 90.5 coverage grade and 2 pass deflections. Wow. The offensive line also performed great versus a scary Steelers pass rush. What we thought, Armand Membu, baby, 89.0 overall offensive grade in his first career NFL game at right tackle. Yeah, he was good. TJ Watt was pretty much shut out.
Bit of a offensive line scout, are you?
Dude, I love the O-line. The big boys. Yeah.
The big boys down in the trenches.
Yeah. The Jets just need to be able to keep up with the Bills on the offense. Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall won't be able to do it all themselves. They were trying their best in that first game. They looked great. They need Mason Taylor to be a weapon in the receiving game. The Bills have struggled to find solid play in their safety positions since they got rid of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer a few seasons ago. Mason Taylor showed at LSU that he can be a reliable offensive piece who can move the chains. He might not be super explosive or exciting, but he is a piece who the Jets will need to use to take advantage of the Bills' weak safeties to have any shot at keeping up this offense and getting them toward a possible win. But it's going to be a long shot. They're going to need some Mason Taylor in there.
The prop block of this game, I'm going with Breece Hall over 57.5 rush yards. Now, I know this may be a bit scary, but last week, he showed that he still is the RB1 in this room, taking 19 carries for 107 yards versus Braylon Allen's 6 for 9. Not very nice.
And touchdown, though.
Yeah, touchdown, though. This week, he gets a defense that just gave up just under 10 yards of carry to Derrick Henry. Now, he's no Derrick Henry, but this offense looked much better than expected last week, and it was running through Breece Hall. So give me over 57.5 rush yards for Breece. Leading into my game pick, I'm taking the Jets here by myself. The Jets impressed the hell out of me last week against the Steelers. Now, the Steelers always play down to their competition.
Sure.
But Steelers actually had to play up to their competition last week. The Jets brought the fight to the Steelers. And in this division game here, I think the Jets can keep it close. Similar to the Browns and Ravens, the Jets and the Bills last season, the Jets beat them once. They went 1-1 in the series. And I think the Jets at home here could be where they upset the Bills. Maybe 2 upsets in the same week, but give me the Jets to keep it within 6. And then just a side note, because once again we don't have reviews. Josh Allen last week in the fourth quarter threw for 251 yards, which is more than 21 other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The whole game.
He's pretty good.
His passing yards in the fourth quarter were top 10 in the league.
He's ridiculous.
Out of anybody in the whole game.
What was his line last week was 236.5.
Yes.
And he beat that in the fourth quarter alone.
Yes. Before that,
Nice.
they weren't looking good. He wasn't looking good. And then, boom, here he comes. I don't even know what happened. I was like, oh, I might actually hit this bet. Then I check again, and he did like 397 or something. Like, okay.
Keon Coleman, too.
Yeah.
Like, what
Like,
the
dude,
hell?
man.
Yeah.
And then your dog Kincaid bet missed by 2 yards. So.
Yes, I know.
yeah.
I was keeping track. I was like, man, just one more catch.
Yeah.
No.
But
Oh, my gosh. Every 2 plays, they swapped Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. Can't get any
effective,
rhythm.
but not for bets.
No, not for bets at
Yeah.
all. Damn.
But that last 10 minutes of that Bills-Ravens game, that's why I'm choosing the Bills here, because they can do that. Simple as that.
Enough said. Yeah, I think that it was a pretty cool story for the Jets last week, going up against the Steelers. But you're facing the future Super Bowl champ, the Super Bowl 60 champs, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
So I think they win by at least 7 here.
Giants going to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored 4.5 points here, and it's got to be Dak Prescott who's running hot, coming off of really challenging the Super Bowl champs last week to start off this NFL season here. He brought the fight to the Eagles last week and looked damn impressive. He provided CeeDee Lamb with 7 catches, 110 yards.
And if you just catch the damn ball.
If he could catch the ball, he'd have about 200 yards.
Yeah, seriously.
George Pickens got in there too, and I don't know. Dak Prescott looked really good last week. Cowboys looked really good, and I'm sure impressed a lot of people last week.
Yeah, Dak is due this season to be healthy.
You're
he
right,
always
yep.
gets injured like every other season, it feels like. But and then I forget how good Dak is. And then he comes back and he throws passes all over the field like he did last week, and people are gonna say like man, like Dak was throwing hospital balls. Like, no, that's just a damn good football. He put it into a window, and his $40 million wide receiver should have caught the damn ball.
That's like what Matt Stafford does.
Yeah, exactly.
He just puts it in windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a hospital ball, but
Sure.
he play football.
Sure, he might concuss his receiver every week, but
Puka, he fought off 2 concussions.
yeah.
He got his face
What
cut.
did Puka say? He's like, I just made sure I could count to 10 or something like that in the locker room. How good.
That's a football player.
That's a football.
That's a football player.
You could never see. CD would never.
No. Clearly not.
Let's talk about the Giants.
But anyways, Dak's pretty good.
He's pretty. That was a good game by Dak. Giants cornerback Cordell Flott. He's gonna be faced up against Dak in Week 1. Dak proved that he could move the Cowboys' offense up and down the field, and against an Eagles defense that was one of the best in the league just a season ago. If the Giants are gonna have any chance to win this game, their defense of big names is gonna have to step up to try to slow them down. We know the defensive line is going to do their job, but whenever it comes down to the cornerbacks to try to contain CeeDee and George, Cordell Flott is a corner who has begun his 4th season on the Giants. He's started 23 games for them over his first 3 seasons with average success. PFF coverage grades of 73.0, 59.4, 61.7 over his first 3 seasons. After earning the start at outside corner last week versus the Commanders, he put up the best coverage grade on the team according to PFF. He might just be your average starting NFL corner, but there's value in that, especially whenever we just watched the Cowboys absolutely cook Eagles corner Adoree Jackson for the entire Week 1 game. Is he going to be able to completely shut down CeeDee or Pickens? Probably not, but he's a reliable, experienced corner who does still have potential because he literally, 4th year in the league, he just turned 24 years old in August. So he was playing his rookie year at 20 years old.
Crap. Wow.
So this guy is still young. He's still got potential, and he's going to have one heck of a test this week.
Jeez.
Cordell Flott, who prop block a CeeDee Lamb over 78.5 receiving yards. Last week, CeeDee Lamb commanded over a 38% target share, and amid his drop fest, he was able to accumulate 110 yards on 7 receptions. Should have been way more.
Yeah.
But this offense continues to run through him, and I think he puts up an even better showing this week. Give me over 78.5 receiving yards.
Love it.
Game picks.
Yeah, I'm going with the boys here. And the Cowboys impressed. There was another team that impressed the hell out of me last week. I did not know the Cowboys had that in them. I didn't know they could stay in games like that. I didn't know the defense was going to be worth anything still without Micah Parsons there and some other injuries. But they held their own. And if first of all, Dak Prescott's at home. Dak's great at home.
Great at home.
Second of all, if Jackson Dart was starting this game, I would feel probably like I should take the Giants. But I think this is a game that just adds more fuel to the fire of getting Russ out of there and getting Jackson Dart in there.
I'm right alongside you. I'm taking them boys down there in Dallas. Just for that same reason, like I said earlier, and like you just said, like they impressed me. They impressed me week 1 against the reigning Super Bowl champions who have a fantastic defense. Is the Giants' defense good? On paper.
Yeah.
But
we're drooling over them.
Yeah. We've been drooling over them. But, yeah, Cowboys at home, Dak at home. Got to go with them.
I'm alone with the Giants here. I think the Giants have a chance to win this game. It's my turn to take the Giants and say that they could possibly win because I'm not worried about the Cowboys pass rush anymore. Last week, they could not do anything until like fourth quarter whenever Jalen Hurts was holding onto the ball for an insanely long time.
Yeah.
So if Russ is actually given time, because he's given the start again this week, stupid, but he is. If he's actually given time, I think the receivers are good enough to get open. I trust Wandale to get open out of the slot, and of course I trust Malik Neighbors, top 10 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
To get open. So that's enough for me to say that this game's going to be close. In Jerry World, are there going to be boos? Because yeah. So Cowboys' first home game, maybe there's some boos. Maybe that works in the Giants' favor.
It's going to be boos and booze.
Boos, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, this one was tough because the Cowboys don't have a great track record of just losing out of nowhere.
That's true.
So, all right, moving on. 49ers are going down to New Orleans to play the Saints. The 49ers are favored by 3 here. Who's running hot? Well, one of the only offensive players left for the 49ers looked pretty damn good, and that was Slick Ricky Pearsall. He's going to be running hot mainly because he has to.
Yeah.
But also because he's pretty darn good at the football, and he made like 100-plus yards on only 4 receptions last week. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, he's about all that's left.
Yeah, everybody's dying.
Yeah.
And that's why I also went with the 49ers tight end, Jake Tonges. Tongues, if you want.
The tongue man.
Yeah. George Kittle is already on IR with a hamstring injury. Is anybody surprised?
No! Oh, tears.
But the 49ers' next best receiving tight end is Tonges. He grew up near Levi's Stadium. It's a beautiful hometown story. Yeah.
Beautiful San Fran kid.
He attended Los Gatos High School in California. Hometown guy.
Does that mean cat?
That means the cat.
Okay, sick. Yeah.
Cat's high
What's
school.
his first language? Can he even read the playbook?
Los Gatos. He's white.
Oh, okay.
Don't mean nothing.
You never know the tongue man.
Yeah, maybe.
Tongue man go crazy.
He's obviously never been known to be some athletic receiving threat. He's been used mostly as a blocker for his entire college and NFL careers. But in week 1,
how did he do at Los Gatos?
Probably
pretty good.
I didn't get his cat stats.
He's probably a quarterback, if I had to guess.
Probably.
Yeah. All the best ones are quarterbacks. Yeah. I know. The
I'll
Cats
find it.
High School, that's fantastic.
I'll find it.
The Cats. But anyways, in week 1, he was targeted 3 times, caught all 3 of them for 15 yards and a touchdown. It was that, I'm sure everybody saw it, it was that game-winning contested touchdown catch where it was thrown right toward the DB's hands. I think it was Reek Woolen. And it was like going right through his hands. And Todd just jumped right in front, snatched that ball away, bounced it off his own knees, and caught it as he was falling down right along the sideline of the end zone. He's been in the NFL as a backup since 2022, and those 3 catches in week 1 were the first 3 catches of his NFL career.
Nice.
In his total career of college football at California, preseason football in the NFL, and regular season football in the NFL, he's had 20 contested catch opportunities according to PFF. He's caught 15 of them. Carson, that's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
75% contested catch percentage. I get excited anytime Kyle Shanahan gets a no-name player to work into his offense. Who knows what's going to happen? Give me the tongue man.
Yeah. All right, prop lock. Last week I went with a 2-legger that Kian said if I didn't bet, then it would hit. So this week I'm decided to go with a 3-legger.
Nice.
This time it'll hit.
Yeah.
Plus 477 on this one.
Good money.
This Niners offense is depleted of weapons now with George Kittle on IR as well. Speaking of weapons, accidentally, Ricky Pearsall over 54.5 receiving yards. He put up 104 yards last week, and Mac Jones can still deliver, providing Brian Thomas Jr. with 7 of 8 games over 76 receiving yards last season. CMC over 34.5 receiving yards is the next one, doubling down on last week once again.
He might hit 134.
He might, yeah. Last week, 73 yards, 9 receptions. I think they really have no choice but to continue to feed the guy. And lastly, the third leg, Jawan Johnson over 33.5 yards. This is my favorite one, and it's another repeat from last week. I originally bet this because of his chemistry with Spencer Rattler, but it turns out there is even more reason to buy in. Ooh. He is the Saints' starting slot receiver, playing out of the slot 62% of the time, and in line only 27% of the time, being on the field for every single snap of the game except for one.
Jeez.
Chris Olave Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed stay out wide most of the time, occasionally come into the slot to share time with Devon Vele when Juwan Johnson does go in line, but Juwan Johnson is still a starting slot receiver. And this is amazing for his receiving value, leading the team with 8 receptions and 76 yards last week. Should have been a touchdown, glanced off his hands in contested traffic.
Ton just would have got it.
Yeah, Ton just would have got it. 75% chance. And I don't see this train slowing down much, even against the 49ers' elite defense and Fred Warner. But the Niners did just give up all those yards to hang on.
Tight end.
Yeah, hang on.
Not Barner? Wasn't
No.
Arroyo?
Fant?
They just played Seattle last week.
JSN.
Yes, okay.
JSN, who plays out of the slot. Juwan Johnson plays out of the slot.
9 for 124. JSN, 9 for 124.
Go.
Yep, pretty good.
Basically the same player, too.
Yeah, so those three-legger's a lock.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Speaking of locks, we all have 49ers to beat the Saints this week, -3. This is more so a bet against the Saints than it is for the 49ers. 49ers are not looking good, but the Saints did just lose by 8 to the Cardinals, who I think are also a very bad team in the league. I think it's going to be closer than we think, though. I think this line might even push because they might win by just 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this is going to be, Kian said a couple games ago, is the game of the week to watch. This is the game to not watch.
Sure, yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple in my head. 49ers defense looked pretty darn good in week 1 to shut down that Seattle run game. And I've seen Mac Jones play more competent NFL games than I have Spencer Rattler yet, so it's pretty easy.
And also less run game from the Saints.
Yeah.
Probably.
And Mac Jones is a fat guy. Got to root for that.
Yeah. All right, the Patriots are going to the Dolphins. Dolphins are favored 1.5 at home here. Yeah, wild. I had to take a man with a good name that was running hot and is still going to run hot this week by the name of Kayshon Boutte, baby. Coming off pretty good week 1. I think he's just going to continue to keep that motor running hot. And also anytime, any Patriots, just in my mind, just the way Patriots are, if they see the dogs, especially against a team they probably think and know they should beat, they're just going to, Mike Vrabel's just going to be pounding that into their heads. Like, you see this right here? Let me get my chaw out so I can talk better.
Yeah.
You see this right here?
8 targets, 6 receptions, 103 yards for Kayshon Boutte last week.
Dang good.
I shouted him out if you want to listen.
Well done.
We're going to highlight another Patriots player here. We're going to the defensive side. We're going to the edge rushers. Harold Landry III. Again, not much of a sleeper here because Landry started and played at least 800 snaps each season for the Titans since 2019. He's just never really been viewed as a dominant pass rusher. Well, in week 1, he was exactly that dominant pass rusher that the Patriots paid $14.5 million a year for this offseason. He was giving the Raiders' offensive line fits, a unit that performed pretty well in 2024. Second-year right tackle, awesome name, DJ Glaze, especially got cooked.
Yeah.
Landry put up 8 pressures, 2.5 sacks, and an additional 2 tackles in the run game. Landry's first game with at least 8 pressures since 2021, so look out for him to be running after Chua. Nice. Chua. And looking to, he wants to concuss him. That's what he said in the press conference this week.
Really?
What a guy.
You can't say that.
Allegedly. I don't know. We got people saying Derrick Henry's easy to tackle. That's pretty much saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That I want to get concussed is what is what Grant Delpit said. Grant Delpit saying Derrick Henry is easy to tackle is basically, that translates to I want to get my head shoved into the ground.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
For the prop block of this game, I'm going with the hot motor as well.
Oh, yeah.
Kayshon Boutte, over 42.5 receiving yards. On a snap count basis, he is the Patriots' wide receiver 1, leading the team, playing 83% of pass plays. This resulted in him leading the team with 6 receptions, 103 yards, as Kian said. And I think he continues operating as this team's deep threat, who Drake May has showed a great connection with, picking up right where they left off last season. So give me Kayshon Boutte over 42.5 receiving yards.
Love it.
Game pick. I am going the Patriots because I still love this Patriots team. I still love Mike Vrabel. And I think they go to Miami. They take care of business with all this talent that they have. They just need to put it all together. But I'm interested to see what Kean has to say here in a bit.
Yeah, I'm right with the Patriots, too. I cannot put any faith into the Dolphins right now. I don't care how the Patriots looked last week. I think they're only going uphill from here. Got a lot of faith in Vrabel, and I think Drake May's going to bring it back around a little better, and they're going to sweep the floor with the Dolphins down in Miami.
I think this is probably the game you don't want to watch.
That's probably
I so badly wanted to go Dolphins here, but I could not. Yeah, I went Patriots.
You could
I went
not
Patriots.
do that.
Drake May looked bad, but Tua looked worse.
Yeah.
The thing is, Tua was healthy, right? And he is still healthy as far as I've heard.
Allegedly.
But Tua wasn't playing good football, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. It's like it's a lock for him to play good football.
Yeah, he usually plays good football. There are a few death, taxes, and Tua playing good football when he's healthy.
Yeah.
I think his head is. Yeah.
He needs to get checked again. Actually, it's probably permanent.
Maybe it's one of those things where like you get hit once and he's locked back in.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no, he did.
He got hit good. Yeah. Someone slammed the back of his head off the ground. I forget who it was.
It didn't lock him in either.
Yeah.
I can't bet on Tua until I see some competent play. Like some
You
play.
say this is a National Lampoon's type of thing here. Got kicked in the teeth, eyes went crossed. Got kicked by a mule, went back straight.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, I really thought the Tua was gonna be like actually competent, but I guess I was wrong. And so I'm betting the Patriots, but I don't want to watch this game because I don't think it's gonna be a good game. Both these teams didn't look very good in Week 1. Dolphins obviously looked horrendous, but Patriots looked bad. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Actually, we won't see. Don't watch.
Yeah, don't watch.
Tua at home might be better.
Tua at home should be better.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah.
But he was in a dome, so he was in a dome in Indy.
Yeah.
Shorter travel.
Maybe they cranked it down to like 68,
Maybe they
67
did,
degrees. It was
yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
He's from Hawaii, for God's sakes. I don't know how cold it gets down there, but I feel like it's never 67.
I don't know.
I'll look up the climate.
Yeah, look up the climate of Hawaii whenever I move on to the Jags and the Bengals. Oh wait, we need to pick this. Oh wait, we already did.
We did, yeah, all Patriots. Sorry,
man,
fans.
I'm all glabberflasted over here.
Seems like for the highs at least, it never gets below 70 and never gets above 78 allegedly.
There you go.
That's why
Anything
people
below
love it.
70 was too
Average
cold.
temperature, that is.
Nice.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, so if it in the dome, if it's 69 in there, then
he's
like,
all thrown off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's what
Can't
happened.
see straight.
And that's analysis.
Yes.
That's analysis. Jaguars going to the Bengals. Bengals are favored 3.5 points. Whose motor is running hot coming into this game? We got a man by the name of Travis Etienne coming off a huge week last week for the Jaguars. 16 for 143 on the ground. Is that good? I think that's pretty good. He was the standout on the Jaguars, and, I mean, they put a whooping on the Carolina Panthers last week. And, yeah, he looked incredible, and I think he's just going to keep it rolling.
I'm not buying into Travis Etienne yet. I've seen that guy's let me down.
He's playing the Bengals defense.
He is playing the Bengals defense.
I think he'll be all right.
Let me talk about a defender here for the Bengals. Defensive back Dax Hill. Again, maybe not much of a sleeper considering he's been a starter for the multiple years now. Former first-round pick in 2022. But he needs to be shouted out and recognized for what he's done for the Bengals team over the past 3 years. He played mostly slot cornerback over his college career at Michigan. Okay, slot corner. Played just 150 defensive snaps in his rookie year of 2022. Full-time starter at free safety in 2023. Tore his ACL in Week 5 of 2024, but in those first 4.5 weeks, he played mostly outside corner before he got injured. This season in Week 1 versus the Browns, 74 total defensive snaps. 1 snap lined up as an edge rusher along the defensive line.
Dang.
20 snaps lined up in the box like a linebacker. 3 snaps at free safety. 34 snaps at slot corner. 16 snaps at outside corner. This guy plays everywhere, and I love players like that, as we already talked about with Jalen Ramsey, Jabril Peppers, Dax Hill. It's exciting. And according to PFF, 78.6 overall defensive grade, 71.8 run defensive grade, 70.8 tackling grade, 77.8 coverage grade, 9 total tackles, 5 of those solo. He had a great Week 1, and look for him to be everywhere and be making a difference.
Partially because he's good, partially because he has to.
Yeah, partially because he has to.
I was not familiar with this guy's game.
Dax Hill? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the Combine, 4.3 40-yard dash, 43-inch vert.
That's why he's a first-round pick.
That's pretty good.
NFL loves athletes. But yeah, this guy plays everywhere. He's fun to watch.
Was Dax's full name?
Daxton.
Okay.
Still pretty badass.
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool name. Daxton
name.
or Dax. They're both wins.
I thought that wasn't okay.
Yeah, Daxton
Hill.
Yeah.
Prop lock. Cool. This is a really hard one for me to do, but I gotta go Joe Burrow over 271.5 passing yards. He's off to his inevitable slow start,
but he won though.
Yeah,
so that's a plus.
Yeah,
right?
And in the past 2 seasons, 3 including this one, first 2 weeks he has not thrown over this line. But this defense is very bad, and he has way too many weapons and way too bad of a defense to not start racking up passing yards. So I would think he would be able to throw for over 271 yards, but this is my most unconfident lock of the week.
Does it concern you that Travis Hunter is going to be playing more corner this week?
No, not really.
Yeah. I figured.
I feel like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins should be
pretty good.
Against anybody.
Good.
Not only because of their skill set, but also because of how much money they're paying them. I feel like they shouldn't have an excuse.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
And Mike Gesicki's there.
Oh, thank goodness.
Mike G, baby.
Yeah, how could we forget?
Yeah.
Game picks.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals here. It's another one that I'm very unconfident in because the Bengals' slow start is a real thing. You start out as a joke. Now it's like a scientifically researched, it's going to happen kind of thing.
This is literally from Step Brothers. Remember Brendan and what's the other guy's name? Will Ferrell and the two of them they're interviewing for jobs together. They go to Seth Rogen. They're wearing tuxedos. Yeah. It's like, oh, you guys are wearing tuxedos. That's so cool. And then like by the end, he's like, okay, the tuxedos
makes sense.
Yeah, kind of fucked up.
Yeah. You try to play them in preseason, they still suck at the beginning of the season. Like, I don't know what to expect out of the Bengals here, but I guess I gotta take them at 3.5 because if this was 10 weeks later, the line would probably be like 7.5. So
this is like if it happens one time, you're just lucky. But if it happens again
every year,
it's a normal.
Every of the times.
Death, taxes, and Bengals starting slow.
And Tua playing well usually.
Tua playing well when he's healthy. Those are the guarantees.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I'm with the Bengals too. Like Carson said, I'm not all that confident, but I can't say no to the Bengals whenever they're against a bad or fairly below average defense, and you have Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
I just can't really argue against that.
Yeah, I went Bengals here as well, and I'm going to go bold. I think the Bengals win by 2 touchdowns here. I think the Bengals got that, I don't want to say like monkey off their back because
it's still there.
Yeah, but like it's like a huge monkey. It's just like a gorilla that was on their back.
So it's an orangutan that was on their back.
Silverback.
Yes, a silverback gorilla on their back. A silverback, if you will.
Oh, wow.
A backed, silver-backed. You just got silver-backed.
But
it's because it's so heavy every year. There's like 4 games of losses riding on their shoulders. Well, they already won the first game, so now they're coming out, and I think they're going to stomp the Jags.
Okay. It's only like a chimp on their back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like a friendly one.
Yeah, it's like one of those friendly ones that like sits on his shoulder and gives you random information.
Just hangs out.
That's like from Aladdin is Abu.
Abu.
Yeah. He wears the funny hat.
Abu Abar al-Baghdadi
is dead.
All right. Seahawks are going to the Steelers. The Steelers are favored 3 points at home down in the Berg. Who's running hot this week? I think this guy isn't really a guy whose motor runs super hot all the time.
He's mellow.
Yeah, well, you can't see it. This is Aaron Rodgers. He's running hot this week. He's like a sleeper. He's like that type of car. You're like, it's a cool car. It's nice. It's a classic car,
Definitely classic.
Yeah, it's great. You're just looking,
Rusty.
It's like, all right, you got
patina.
But like she got all the ponies under the hood. She got like 800 horse ponies under that hood. All the horse torques under the hood. So that's about as hot as his motor can run. He ain't going to show it, but he'll throw those little pokes like he was talking about the Jets in the press conference. It was good to beat them because they basically told me that I wasn't him anymore.
He says it so calm, too.
Exactly. He's a sleeper.
Yeah,
I wanted to beat everybody in that Jets building.
Yeah, I don't know if that motor is hot, but it is definitely high.
She's running. Yeah, she is running.
Yeah,
That's a high motor.
Exactly. Let's stay on the Steelers side and talk about another do-it-all chess piece player, Ben Skoranek.
Are you kidding me? How better to start the season than to throw it? Yeah. First touchdown of Aaron Rodgers' career in the Steelers, Ben Skoranek.
Yeah, and then he gets a fumble recovery later.
Oh, what a dog.
This guy, you can play him everywhere. The Rams, remember, he was on
the
Rams.
Right way.
He played at fullback. This is Ben Skoranek, not specifically him, but this is one of the reasons why I would say that I'm loving how Omar Khan is building this Steelers team. He's bringing in chess pieces.
Yeah.
And hell, you're trying to play chess out there on the football field. You're not playing no damn checkers.
Nah, can't win like that.
Everybody's going to think of Ben Skoranek's 22-yard touchdown catch to get the Steelers on the board in this game for his main contribution. But this man also had 5 run-blocking snaps and earned a PFF run-blocking grade of 85.6.
That's how he does it.
He also played 21 special team snaps. Yeah,
what a dog.
This is Travis Hunterbo on special teams. He plays 3 ways, Travis. I haven't seen you play 3 ways.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh! You want to talk about mother? He recovered that fumble forced by Kenny Gainwell on the one kickoff. Yes.
Good hands.
Turns out our offense is our best defense. What a change.
What a change. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. But what I'm saying here is get Ben Skoranek on the field more. He's a dog.
He is a dog.
I was
a sick headband.
Also not familiar with Ben Skoranek's game.
Yeah.
He strikes me as like a practice squad guy, but he's really proven himself otherwise in his campaign.
He'd be like an awesome practice player who would probably like hurt other players.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's that killing JV like he's just absolutely going off.
Yeah. He will dive at the starter's knees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Drilling threes from the corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All game. Yeah.
Prop block of this game, JSN over 5.5 receptions. Unfortunately, it is minus 136, but that's because it is such a heavy lock. Last week, he demanded an insane 57% target share, showing his essential role in this offense, in that he may be the Puka of Matt Stafford to Sam Darnold this season. That's 2 Puka comps in one episode. I know it's crazy, but 57% target share is unheard of. Sam Darnold's throwing the ball over 50% chance it's going to JSN last week.
Crazy.
So give me over 5.5 receptions this week. Some weird stuff happens in week 1, but I like to think that targets are trends in week 1. So.
Yep. Pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers here. -3. They're at home, and
home opener, baby.
Seahawks looked pretty one-dimensional last week, as I just highlighted in JSN. I think if we can shut that down, the running game did not look great. If we can shut that down, then Aaron Rodgers just has to score anything, and if our defense can do anything like they didn't last week,
it's just the running game.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is the Steelers should be good and the Seahawks should be bad, but last week was kind of weird for the Steelers. So at home for their home opener, I'm hoping they can get it going again.
Yeah, if the Steelers, like you're saying the defense, but I'll specifically say the run blocking, and if they're now partially injured secondary can keep up, which they look good with all their chess players that they're getting and already have. They should be okay. So I got to take the Steelers here. Also at home,
they got a queen on their defense. The chess piece, Patrick.
Oh,
they had Beanie Bishop.
Yes. Now we just need Derrick Henry, the king.
We do need
or LeBron.
King. I'll take LeBron. Yeah. But anyways, Steelers at home opener. If this game is close, Renegade's going to come on and the boys are going to get fired up. Home opener with Aaron Rodgers. And it's going to be a good game. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long.
I don't know what it says next. I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Should have drafted Demetrius Knight to have a Knight as well.
Damn.
I don't know what we can do.
It's almost a weekend. We'll call Omar Khan on Monday. We'll get him on.
Is there any pawn? I don't know.
No, but we do have a Khan.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Omar Khan. Yeah.
I love this. This is great. I also went Steelers here. Yeah. I could honestly see this game being a push. I could see the Steelers winning by 3. It's what they do.
New Steelers.
But I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be on. I hope he's going to be on JSN all game long.
I see no reason for him not to be.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, who else are you going to put on him?
Yeah, especially if he's in the slot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be a Jalen Ramsey game here. And I would imagine that the Steelers' defense, their line, can actually maybe get home to Sam Darnold, get him rattled. So I think the Steelers win this game either by 3 or by 14. There's going to be no in between. It's going to be a close one, or it's going to be a blowout.
Broncos going to the Colts. Broncos are favored 2.5 points. Who's running hot? My guy, kind of, I guess. Indiana Jones, baby. I mean, I said I had to bet on him last week. I mean, he's going to rush for over 25 yards. What does this guy do? Rushes for freaking 26, baby. Lock it in, and what? I think he had 2 tutties thrown in there, too.
Yeah, he's always outdoing himself, really.
Yeah,
he
really is.
25, 26.
I think it's 26 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. And he threw 22 for 29 and 272 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely. Dollywop those Dolphins.
Yeah.
Throw that one out there. 33-8. I mean, Indiana Jones, he is leading these Colts like I thought he might. His motor is running hot.
We're staying on the Colts side here. Charvarius Ward is out.
Eesh.
The starter across from him is Xavier Howard. Again, I know, another former star player. I know. But Xavier Howard had to be mentioned for a few reasons. He was cut by the Dolphins before the 2024 season.
That was crazy.
And no other team picked him up until the Colts did this August. Yeah, so he didn't play at all in 2024. Many people didn't even know he was on the Colts until this game started. His last 2 years in Miami, 2022 and 2023, he put up rough PFF coverage grades of 56.0 and 51.9, the worst coverage grades of his career. This was a huge revenge game for him against the Dolphins, and he balled out. He put up a PFF coverage grade of 80.7, allowed 0 catches on 2 targets, and a passer rating of just 39.6. Best coverage grade out of all Colts defensive backs, and he was feeling it. He was chirping about Tua in an interview after the game. He said, "quote We knew he gets the ball out pretty quick, and once we take away his first read, I feel like it's panic mode after that." And it showed. We took away his first read, and he was trying to get rid of the ball real quick. So throwing some shots there. Understandably so. So is the Dolphins' offense just terrible, or is the Colts' defense going to be really good this year? We don't really know yet, but it looks like Xavier Howard is going to play a big part in determining that. So good for Xavier Howard to get back in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, prop lock for this game. Tyler Warren over 43.5 receiving yards. That's a minus 114. Another week 1 rookie trend that I love to see, giving Tyler Warren 9 targets and 7 receptions. And another situation where I think they'll look to him to provide a spark to this offense against this tough Broncos defense. I don't know how you shy away from the guy after doing what he just did. I think Danny Dimes might even love this guy. It's like Cody's match made in heaven here. So give me over 43.5. Love it. For the Tyler Warren.
Love it.
Yeah, going on to the picks now. I'm taking the Colts and Indiana Jones here.
Wow.
I talked a lot about how much I love the Broncos this season, but what they did, or more so didn't do last week, I guess, scared me. They only beat the Titans, the lowly Titans, by 8 points at home. Now they're on the road against the Colts, who just had the biggest blowout of last week, I do believe, against the Dolphins. And Indiana Jones stays at home. It's in his name. He's feeling confident. This whole team is ready to go. Broncos, not so much. So give me the Colts minus 2.5. It is, I mean, the Broncos, give me the Colts to cover 2.5 plus 2.5. Yeah, I think this game is going to be close. Colts might even win, and Broncos fans are now really going to start to get worried after this game, including myself.
I am a fan of the Colts this year and am worried about the Broncos, but I am a bigger Broncos fan than the Colts, I guess. I trust that Sean Payton, this will be a bounce-back week. He'll get all his guys together, and he ain't going to go out looking bad like that, and he'll use this game to prove that the Broncos are here to stay and here to play hardball against one of the better-looking teams from Week 1.
Yeah, I think that the Broncos' defense is probably going to scare Danny Dimes into that deer look that he gets more than the
crazy eyes.
More than the Miami defense did. So I think that's going to play a big part, and I don't think Bo Nix could have had a worse Week 1 game than he did. So I think it only goes up from here, and Sean Payton is, I'm sure, going to be working with him all week like he usually does. So give me the Broncos.
100%. Panthers are going to the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored 6.5 points at home here. And who's running hot this week? the rookie, one of our favorite players coming out, the corner, Will Johnson for the Cardinals. Boy, did he have a great week 1 for the Cardinals out there. He had 3 passes defended, great tackle on Chris Olave, I think it was, and an interception, but it was called back. But still, interception. Guy's a ball player. He is as advertised, even though a lot of people forget about it because he was injured last year in college. But he is a dog. He is one of the best rookie corners coming out, if not the best. One of the best defensive players coming out, and he proved it last week. He came into that game and is running very hot right now, and we'll keep it rolling here against the Panthers.
He had the second best coverage grade out of all cornerbacks in the NFL.
Pretty
behind
good.
only Sauce Gardner. That's pretty good company.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 90.3 coverage grade in week 1 in your first game as the CB1 of your team. Yeah, it was against the Saints, but that's still damn impressive. It's the NFL.
Football
yeah, they're all professionals out there. So I'm going to highlight somebody on the Cardinals here. Cardinals safety, Deidron Taylor Demerson, second-year, fourth-round safety out of Texas Tech. The Cardinals just can't keep him off the field. He's not a starting safety for them, but he forced them to play 3 safeties for most of their week 1 game. He really highlights the diversity and flexibility that the Cardinals now have in their secondary. Firstly, of course, Will Johnson, looking like one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL after 1 week.
Yeah.
Budda Baker is their star safety who runs around like a madman. Jalen Thompson is their other starting safety who evenly splits his snaps between back at free safety, in the box, and at slot corner. Max Melton is their second-year, second-round outside corner who is really – he's figuring it out as a CB2 on this team as he showed in week 1. And then Garrett Williams is their full-time starting slot corner who really broke out in 2024 with an 83.7 coverage grade. And even with all those guys playing significant snaps and playing well in week 1, head coach Jonathan Gannon knew he needed Deidron Taylor Demerson on the field. DTD finished the day with the second-best overall defensive grade on the team at 80.4, 78.4 coverage grade. He had 1 pass deflection and allowed a passer rating of just 47.9. So maybe this was just thanks to the Saints and Spencer Rattler, but after week 1, I like how this Cardinals secondary is looking, and I'm excited to see more from this young unit.
Prop lock this game. Trey McBride over 58.5 receiving yards. Yet again, I love tight ends this episode. Mm-hmm. This is another tight end that is their team's starting slot receiver, playing 18 snaps from the slot with the next closest being 11, and he played another 18 from inline as well. He has over 60 receiving yards, which is above this line, in 8 of his last 9 games, with the one exception being last year versus the Panthers. I don't know what the Panthers have that stops him,
scared,
but I'm hoping he can figure it out this time around and to get over 58.5 receiving yards. With that being said, I still am taking the Panthers here. Since 2015, the Panthers and Cardinals have played each other 8 times. The Cardinals have won once.
Whew. That is crazy, considering what the Panthers have been since 2015.
Yep. that one win coming in 2022.
Okay.
Now, last year, I don't know if you guys remember, maybe I'll provide you some memory here. This game was 30-30, went into overtime. Chuba Hubbard had like 150, 160 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Both offenses had a 3-and-out in overtime.
Yeah.
And then Chuba Hubbard ran 28 and 22 yards for a touchdown to give the Panthers the win. So it was anybody's game last year. Now it was still a 6-point game because of the overtime touchdown.
Right.
So whatnot. Sure. But I think the good trend continues here, and the Panthers beat the Cardinals.
Ooh,
They don't only cover the line; they beat the Cardinals.
Love it. I won't be as bold, but I think the Panthers will keep it close. Really good info out of you. I don't have anything to back that up, but I just think this line feels too big right now. It just simply feels too big for what the Cardinals are, and I think the Panthers are able to keep it close.
Yeah, both these teams struggled in week 1. Cardinals against the Saints, and because they were playing the Saints, they won, and the Panthers struggled against the Jags, and that game was not good, obviously, from Bryce Young.
Yeah.
But I see these teams, like Cody said, as closer in terms of talent and where they are right now as teams. And Carson laid it out perfectly. So, give us all the Panthers.
Yep. Eagles are going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Eagles are favored 1.5. And one guy, this is kind of like another sleeper here, Jalen Hurts. His motor's got to be running hot. But he's definitely a sleeper, too. He's calm, cool, collected, like he always is. Came out and looked a little nervous at first. He didn't look nervous, but it was a little nervous to watch at first because like, oh man, are the Eagles not like what they were? But no, they're fine. Jalen Hurts 19 for 23 passing, 152 yards. Then of course he adds in 14 for 62 on the ground and 2 beautiful touchdown rushes. And he did all that. I think he might have just been proving a point because he did all that without A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. They were there, just not involved.
Cardio.
Yeah, just running cardio all night long. Jalen Hurts looks damn good.
Yeah, he ran whenever he had to, and he looked really good running the ball.
Comfortable.
As Cody just said, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown got shut out of that last game, which is why I'm going to highlight the Chiefs safety, Brian Cook. In Week 1 against the Eagles, the Cowboys had 2 deep safeties on nearly half of their defensive plays. We're going to get pretty mathy here. I dove in on this one.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Bring it on.
Almost entirely erased A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith from the game, limiting them to a combined 4 targets, 4 receptions, 24 receiving yards. Limited Jalen Hurts' average depth of target, to just 4.5 yards. Hurts attempted just 1 pass in the whole game, further than 9 air yards. He threw the ball down the field further than 9 yards once.
Oh, my
And by doing this, 2 high safeties, the Cowboys defense slowed down the Eagles. They had to run the ball and throw short passes, which is why Dallas Goedert had a good game. Jahan Dotson had a good catch in there, too. I think that was the one pass. Jahan Dotson's catch downfield was the one pass he threw over 9 yards.
Wow.
In the Chiefs' Week 1 game against the Chargers, Brian Cook was their safety who lined up at free safety most. Chiefs secondary as a whole got torched by the Chargers, especially in the intermediate area of the field. On passes thrown 10 to 19 air yards downfield, Justin Herbert went 9 for 11 for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wow. If this Chiefs defense wants to avoid getting blown out by the Eagles passing game, something is going to have to change going into Week 2 for this Chiefs defense. Whether that be blitzing more to give Hurts less time to throw or dropping back another safety beside Cook in coverage, I just know that Cook is going to play a huge part in limiting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So if Brown and Smith go off in this game for big gains, you know that Cook did not do his job. But the two deep safeties, the announcers nowadays talk about it all the time, about how big of a difference it plays. And you saw it last week because Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker were just back there all game long, and Jalen Hurts didn't even want to try to throw the ball downfield.
Yep.
So it does matter, and I'm sure Spags was paying attention. He's going to keep somebody back beside Brian Cook for most of the game, and maybe we see just a little run game.
There's a good chance.
I'm going to tag on top of that with the prop lock. Jalen Hurts, over 40.5 rushing yards. In this Super Bowl matchup last season, he rushed for 72. And last week, he showed he still wants to run with 62. I see them continuing to call his number while all these other weapons are taken away, and take away the attention of the defense as well. So give me Jalen Hurts over 40.5 rushing yards.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Game picks. That was going to be a good game to watch, too.
Yeah.
Will be. I'm going with the Eagles here against the Chiefs. I mentioned the Super Bowl. This is a Super Bowl rematch from last year, and I think the Eagles get the best of them once again. Chiefs are even worse in regular season than they are in playoffs. Eagles lost some people. Chiefs also lost some people, I guess. They have injuries, and they didn't look good. Yeah. So give me the Eagles here, -1.5. I think they're going to win by more than that, probably 5.
I could agree with that. I got to take the Eagles. Also, with how they looked without even cracking into some of their biggest weapons on offense, not needing them really. Partly getting shut out, but proving that they can do it without them. And then the Chiefs looking not very good at all in Week 1 is pretty concerning. So I got to go with the Eagles here.
Yeah, I think there's a few things going into this. If this does turn into a run game, I trust the Eagles more than I trust the Chiefs. I think the Eagles also have the better defense all around, but we did see Adoree Jackson get picked on. But Xavier Worthy is doubtful for this Week 1 game, and the Chiefs are replacing him with Tyquan Thornton, which is not the same guy at all.
Nope.
So is Patrick Mahomes talented enough to pick on Adoree Jackson all game long? Yeah. Yes, but is the wide receiver core that they have right now talented enough? No. So give me Eagles.
Falcons going to the Vikings. Vikings are favored 3.5 points, and who's running hot? New daddy. New Faja. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah,
also.
Bullshit, but.
J.J. McCarthy of the Vikings, man. I mean, good for him. Good week 1 with that comeback win. Had to feel good with just to get his season going after being injured all last season of his true rookie year. To just get that chemistry finally dialed in. He's got to be on a huge uptick right now. Motor running hot going into week 2. I think it looks pretty good for him this week.
Yeah, props to him for winning that award. I don't think he should have won it. He was good for 1 quarter. We'll see how he is. We'll see if he can put a full game together, but it was one hell of a comeback. I'll give him that.
It was.
Let's talk about the Falcons. We're going to safety Xavier Watts. Hell yeah, brother. Falcons' highest graded defensive player in this game with an 81.5 overall defensive grade, 68.6 run defensive grade, 82.6 tackling grade, 76.5 coverage grade, 6 tackles, all of them solo, and 2 pass deflections. One that was almost an interception that was actually like thrown behind him, and he had to contort his body and almost caught it like this. Allowed a passer rating of just 42.4. Xavier Watts had an awesome first week starting beside Jesse Bates, and I am telling you, and I'm feeling a lot better about this season than last season. But this Falcons team is figuring it out, man. They should have went to overtime if Koo could just make a kick, because Michael Penix outplayed Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield last week. I almost forgot the name. That's why I blanked. Talking about a lot of football players today. But, yeah, look for the Falcons to actually be in these games this year. They looked pretty good in week 1.
For the prop block of this game, I'm going with another repeat from last week. That's Michael Penix Jr. over 225.5 passing yards. This is an easy one that I'll probably be riding with all season until they start setting respectful lines for this guy. Last week his line was similar. He went off for almost 300 yards. Now, Brian Flores will give him more trouble this week than last week, but it's not something that I think he can't pick his way through. So still give me the over 225.5 as he guides this passing offense who gets Drake London back. They get Darnell Mooney back.
Kyle Pitts looked pretty damn good week 1.
Kyle Pitts actually put up starting. Was he the tight end 1?
I think he might, like in fantasy?
Yes.
I think he might have been.
It was either Juwan Johnson or Kyle Pitts, but either way, yeah. And then Bijan had over 100 receiving yards as well. This offense around him is just so helpful with weapons, and he has the talent to put it in their hands. So, yeah, the over on his line is feeling very good this game.
Well said.
Moving on to the game picks.
I'm trying to see if he was title 1.
I'm going with the Falcons. I just talked them up so much. Vikings didn't look great last week, and they just pulled it out of their ass at the end, so I think the Falcons really stick it to them this week. Vikings are favored. I'm going Falcons to win.
There you go. Me too.
Dang. Well, good for you both. I'm going with the Vikings here. Vikings at home. Skull. I got to go with – I just trust – the Vikings are on a very sharp uptick right now. I know that the Falcons are getting their players back, and honestly, that may have slipped my mind. You know? Maybe it did that their wide receivers are coming back. I saw it. But you know what? I like the Vikings. I love their coach, whose name is slipping my mind right now.
Kevin O'Connell.
Thank you. KOC. And I love Brian Flores and that defense. I think they're going to wreak havoc on the Falcons. And they're getting those guys back, but I don't think they're going to be too new. They aren't going to know what hit them yet with that Brian Flores defense.
Yeah, Michael Penix is still a young quarterback in this league, and Brian Flores against a young quarterback is scary. So that's the one part about the Vikings that is scaring me. I want to see J.J. McCarthy put together a full game of good football before I actually start believing in him. And he's going to be tired this week. He's got a new baby, crying all night long. He's going to be exhausted.
Man, yeah. He will be, actually, though. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so Falcons, baby. I think they're going to win as well.
Kyle Pitts, tight end 7. Juwan Johnson, tight end 1.
There you go.
I was going to say, Kyle Pitts was only like 7 for 50-something.
Only? Hey, that's a good game.
For Kyle Pitts, sorry. Yeah, I'll put some respect on it.
It's all about
relativity, yes.
Yes.
It's all relative. The Buccaneers are going to Houston to play the Texans. Texans are favored 2.5 points. Well, rookie wide receiver is here. He has arrived. Emeka Egbuka is running hot, coming off of his tremendous outing last week. 4 for 67 with 2 touchdowns thrown in there. Basically didn't even look like Mike Evans was there, is what they were saying. But Baker cooked. He cooked it up to Emeka Egbuka. And, he looked very, very good, as we all thought he would coming to the league. He found a spot. And, there's no problem with those other receivers there. I mean, Chris Godwin's not back yet.
Yeah.
But he came in and is a stud.
Yeah, sure was. Let's go to the Texans side. Who led the Texans team in pressures in Week 1? You would think it would be one of the stud edge rushers in Will Anderson Jr. or Daniil Hunter.
Yep.
Wrong.
What?
It was 31-year-old defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins with 5 against the Rams.
Wow.
I think we're going to see a situation in this game where the Texans pass rush battles and rattles
Sure.
Baker Mayfield and forces him into making some wild/dumb passes. But because the Buccaneers' left side of the offensive line was shuffled around with Tristan Wirfs out. Left tackle was Graham Barton. Now, he's the second-year first-round pick who played only center for them in 2024. He did play left tackle almost his entire career at Duke, but in the NFL, he's only played center. So that was a mixed bag last week. Left guard is Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's right, a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, he's a 27-year-old veteran who has bounced around the NFL playing literally only left guard. This guy has only ever played left guard in the NFL.
It's one-trick
Never right
pony.
guard? Yeah, one-trick pony. Minimal success, honestly, though. And then Ben Bredesen. He's got his autograph right here.
Good player.
Bucks left guard from last year. He's playing center. And obviously, Cody Mauch and Luke Gedeke are fine on the other side. But Sheldon Rankins is going to need to have another good game on the inside to keep Baker on his toes and frazzled. Go after Michael Jordan. He's only good at basketball.
Oh, nice. Prop block of this game, it was a tough one for me to find, so I had to really kind of dig deep here. I'm just going to go with Cade Otton under 30.5 receiving yards. Mainly just because he looked phased out of the offense last week as it ran through 3 receivers, including Sterling Shepard for whatever reason.
He's good when he's healthy, just like Tua.
And Bucky. And I don't think he gets rolling again against this elite D'Amico Ryans defense. So I'm going to take Cade Otton under 30.5 receiving yards, leading into my game pick being the Bucks. Now, both these teams I can't fall in love with, but I think the Bucks do right the ship against the Texans. Bake starts slinging it again. Bucky starts running it a little bit. And the Texans, I love them, but I just can't buy into them yet. This O-line's just too bad. Offense looked stagnant last week. So give me the Buccaneers to start cooking.
There you go.
Well said.
They did win, so.
Start cooking.
Keep baking.
Keep baking.
Keep cooking.
Keep that ship rolling.
Doesn't work any way you say it.
No.
But it makes sense in my head. It's like they had like moments of cook, but they didn't fully cook. So it's like they need to start cooking, but they also need to keep cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They just need to keep cooking.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm on those Buccaneers, too. Baker is going to bake. I'm a big fan of the Texans and what they do, so this one's probably going to come back to bite me, I'm assuming. But just from what I've seen so far of the Texans this year, and they kind of, I don't know if they have that offensive line fixed yet, I got to trust Baker and Emeka Ibuka, and I think they're just going to keep on cooking and slinging it.
Baker looked razzled.
Are they going to keep on cooking or they're going to start cooking? See, this is what I want to know.
Well, they won last week, so...
Yeah, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, Baker wasn't that good.
That's what I mean.
All right, well, Baker's going to start cooking. Bucks are going to keep winning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that. That makes more sense.
Yeah, okay.
Or at least they're going to keep it close.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dogs. So.
Yeah. I think the Texans get back on track. I was going to write the ship, but that only works for the Buccaneers because they're Pirates.
Yeah. So Baker, he was last week. He was baking just those pre-made cookies. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
You just put them on a pan.
Right. It's still good, but
he's this week in practice. He went into the kitchen. He is making his mama's recipe cookies, baby.
Okay, I get it now.
Do you get it yet? Or
Yeah.
you want me to go again?
Yeah. I'm going with the Texans. Because I do think that the pass rush is going to make a difference here. Baker looked frazzled last week, and the Falcons barely pressured him. And so I think that the Texans, with better pass rushers and Sheldon, it just sounds like a good football name. It doesn't at all. It doesn't at all.
Yeah. Astronomicist or
something.
The physicist.
Yes. But I think that the Texans defense is going to step up in this game, and I need to see Baker play some under control football in 2025 before I start thinking that he's going to have another good year.
I don't know if there was much of that in 2024.
There wasn't a whole lot, but
he just slings it.
Yeah. That's
but we love him.
Yeah. But yeah, give me the Texans. Get their first win here.
All right, not bad. Chargers going to the Raiders. The Chargers are favored 3 points. on the road. There was one guy that really stood out here between these two teams in week one, and that was none other than the quarterback of the Chargers, Justin Herbert. He had a stellar week one, and to me, I mean, we haven't seen a Justin Herbert like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. We haven't seen a Justin Herbert playing like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Even last year, I mean, he was doing everything. He was running. He looked confident. He had some swagger on him whenever he got up and was winning. He passed 25 for 34, 318 yards, and how about 3 tutties on top of that? He was just dealing all night long. He made Quentin Johnson look like he was back from the dead.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey's still doing it. Keenan Allen still doing it. Yeah. Like, he was providing all those guys with good passes, and he just looked confident. He just knew what he was doing all game long. No questions. He went out, got it done, beat the crap out of the Chiefs. I know they only won by 6, but it felt like they beat the crap out of the Chiefs all game long. Justin Herbert is running hot, brother.
Yeah, and he's dating Madison Beer now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's something.
Yeah. He was also running the ball, and I love to see that.
Yeah.
Like, dude's an athlete.
Looked like collegiate him.
Yes, and I love to see that because he's got a weapon with his legs, so he should actually use them. So good job by Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh by actually, for one, letting him throw, and 2, letting him run the ball. So giving more to Justin Herbert is a good thing. So we're going to go to the other side. A guy who's going to be in charge of stopping Justin Herbert. We're talking chess pieces today, fellas, and this is the original chess piece who has gotten a lot of hate over the years. He's now on the Raiders because Pete Carroll loves him. Safety/linebacker Jamal Adams.
Ooh.
Highest graded Raiders defender in week one with a 90.9 overall defensive grade. On 4 pass rushes, he got 2 pressures. That's a 50% win rate, which is crazy, considering that some of the best guys in the league get like 28% like pass rush win percentage. So good job by Jamal Adams. He also played 12 snaps at slot corner, where he earned a 76.8 coverage grade. That's very surprising because he's been a meme for many years for the fact that he's a safety who basically only blitzes because his coverage sucks. But he's a player who Pete Carroll loves and has experience deploying in his defenses. And on a team with little to no proven talent or excitement in the linebacker room or secondary, Jamal Adams should play a big role this season as a versatile defensive weapon. So look for Jamal Adams in his old age to right his ship of his career. Yeah, the Raiders are pirates, right?
Yeah, they raid.
He can right the ship then. Jamal Adams can right the ship.
Right.
Well done.
So the betting lines just came out for this game a couple hours before we started recording. Only the passing lines were out. So last minute here, I'm going with a last minute another parlay for Monday night. Maybe a Monday night parlay is going to be a tradition here now. I got a 3-legger for us. Tyler Conklin over 18.5 receiving yards. Last week I went with Will Dissly. That was a mistake, being that I had the wrong tight end. I had the right idea. Wrong tight end.
Yeah.
I didn't think they're going to use Tyler Conklin in the pass game, but Will Dissly is a blocker and Tyler Conklin's a receiver.
Sure.
So that should have been expected. I just thought that Will Dissly was still the guy. I was wrong. Tyler Conklin last week, 2 receptions, 50 yards. He's the receiving guy here. Give me over 18.5 for him. Ashton Genty, under 68.5.
Wow.
Last week, 19 carries, 38 yards.
Yep.
That's 2 yards a carry right on the dot.
Good.
And this has been an ongoing thing with him. Preseason, he had terrible efficiency as well. I think that continues here. Last week against the Chargers, the Chiefs also had to abandon the run. Isaiah Pacheco had like 5 rush attempts. Kareem Hunt had like 3 or 4 or something. And then Patrick Mahomes had to throw for like 260 yards or something. They had to throw the ball to keep up with this Chargers offense, and I think the Raiders are going to have to do the same. So give me Ashton Genty under because of efficiency and game script.
Okay.
Third leg, give me Geno Smith over 239.5. Now, this is a tough one because Brock Bowers is looking like he might not play. It's hard to say. Today's Friday. He didn't practice today. And they haven't said anything about his availability for the Monday night game.
Yeah, because he still practice tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's really hard to say. Either way, I like Geno Smith over 239. Another trend that's been continuing all season. He's looked good from preseason all the way up to last week when he threw for 364 yards, I think.
362.
362 yards. I don't know how. When I was watching the game, did not seem like he was throwing for all that or watching the highlights and everything. But he's the guy that just gets it done in his old age. So give me over 239.5 for Geno. Total 3-leg parlay plus 439. That's a lock. Monday night parlay.
I love the Monday night parlays.
All right, game picks. I'm going with the Chargers here. I said that it's going to be hard to keep up with this offense, and I do think it's going to be. Against the Chiefs' good, well-coached defense, they put up 27 last week. I think they might even put up more than that this week. This Chargers offense is rolling well. Their defense can hold their ground. And, Justin Herbert versus Geno Smith. Give me Justin Herbert.
I'm right there with you. This here is my lock of the week. The Chargers beating the Raiders by at least 3. I just can't say no to how I saw those Chargers rolling last week. They seem like a well-oiled machine, well put together. And, they played a defense that I think is better than that Raiders defense is going to be this upcoming week for them. So who's to say how many points those Chargers are going to score? And with a possibly injured Brock Bowers, we don't know yet, but he got 100 yards last week. Jacoby Myers got about 100 yards last week. I don't think that's going to happen against the Chargers, and then they are going to struggle. So, hammer the Chargers against the Raiders -3.
Yeah, I'll give you Chargers as well because I think that the Raiders looked very good last week, in part because the New England looked so bad.
Patriots don't have it together, really.
Yeah, they don't have it together yet, and not that I doubt Geno, because Geno is a dog, and I love the stuff he says in press conferences, and I love how whenever he played that preseason game in Seattle, he was flipping off the crowd. That's hilarious.
Pretty good, yeah.
He's got that dog in him.
He got that dog.
But we saw Justin Herbert last week, as Cody said, in playing like we've never seen before. And that was against the Chiefs. And now the Raiders are even worse. Give me the Chargers here. I can't bet against Justin Herbert after what I just witnessed.
Yep. Okay. Let's move into something else. Oh, shoot.
This is going to be hard.
Oh, yeah. Moving to our best part of the week here. Our LSSTPOTW, otherwise known as Last of Sports Talk, parlay of the week, where we each pick a bet that we like, and boom, 3-leg parlay for you from the show. Yeah.
All right.
Keegan, get us started here.
Well, for some reason, I'm in FanDuel right now, and I'm trying to get us odds for it, but my bet just got suspended. I don't know. Oh, wait, we're back. We're back up.
We're back.
Okay, I got the odds for the total bet.
I'll
put it in after I'm done talking. I am betting. I want to get into that Bears-Lions game, some action there. I think it's going to be a grudge match. I think it's going to be a good fight. So I'm betting on good players, damn it. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes.
Jalen Johnson is coming back. The Bears' #1 corner, one of the best corners in the league. So does that scare me a little bit? Yeah, but over Amon-Ra's career, he has averaged 71.3 receiving yards per game. Yeah, he sucked last week. The Lions as a whole sucked last week.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I don't think that's going to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown from getting over 63.5. I think that just being that he is a great player, Jared Goff is going to find him whenever he is stressed. And that's another thing. The Bears don't have that great of a pass rush. So I think that he's going to have time to throw. And whenever he's got time, Amon-Ra is going to get open. And I can trust that because the Bears' slot corner, Kyler Gordon, is out. Amon-Ra plays a lot of time out of the slot, and he's just the best player on their offense. And 63.5 is too disrespectfully low. I'm betting on good players. So give me Amon-Ra over 63.5 receiving yards versus the Bears.
Yep, I love it. Mine for the week would be Jake Turd Ferguson. 50-plus receiving yards, and that is plus 148 for you there. I had to take this one because the Cowboys, last week, we saw Dak was slinging it against a very good defense in the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was slinging it to all his receivers mainly, and Jake Ferguson got in he still had 5 receptions, so that was a good target share, only had 23 yards though. But going against the Giants this upcoming week, Giants have a real good pass rush. Dak, more than likely, will not be able to stand back there as long and wait for CeeDee Lamb 40 yards down the field. I think there's going to be a lot to Jake Ferguson in the shorter areas of the field, and Jake Ferguson is talented enough. He is going to make it happen. I don't see him getting less than 5 receptions either. again for this game because of that good rush too and good line from the Giants. The Cowboys aren't going to be able to run it very well either. So, yeah, I think that this Jake Ferguson, 50-plus receiving yards, feels pretty tasty.
Well said.
I'm going with a tight end for myself here. I already highlighted it once in this episode, but I'm going with Juwan Johnson, over 33.5 receiving yards. Now, I said it before, I'll say it again real quick. He is their starting slot receiver, and Spencer Rattler has shown great chemistry with him. So this 33.5 line is way too low, putting up 76 last week, and more of the same playing with Spencer Rattler over last season as well, averaging over 70 yards a game with Spencer Rattler. This is an easy one. Juwan Johnson, over 33.5.
Hell yeah.
Boom, LSSTPOTW, the parlay of the week. So, yeah, love it. Bet alongside us. But that wraps it up.
Overall odds. For the
overall odds. LSSTPOTW to you,
yes,
sir.
overall odds plus 766.
Big money.
Put $10 on it. That'll get you $76.60. That's pretty good return for such a lock of a bet.
Yes.
Lock of the week.
LSSTPOTW. That just roll off the
tongue. Just rolls off the tongue.
It's just so good.
Easy to say. LSSTPOTW.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up. That wraps up our week 2 preview, fully into the NFL season here. We love it. Hope you guys are excited too. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you guys think, what you want us to talk about, what you want us to see, whatever. Let us know what you guys think. We'd love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the weekend of football, and we will catch you next week.